Rise, Meg.
The Force will be with you.
A popular topic on the lips of all Star Wars fans right now is how The Mandalorian is changing the entire franchise. Some even believe that The Mandalorian and its upcoming spin-offs, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and Rangers of the New Republic, are becoming the new and better sequels in and of themselves. While this has been pure conjecture for quite some time amongst fans who didn't care for the sequel trilogy, I believe that there is one blatant line in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale, amongst a series of other additions to the show, that flat out prove that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have already retconned pretty much the entire premise of the sequel trilogy. Now, I want to start off by making a couple of things very clear. Every time I make a video on the sequels, I'm often branded a sequel hater or even a toxic fan. If you've stuck around on my channel for long enough, you'll know that this is not true. I always say that I love all 9 movies of the Skywalker saga in different ways, and I see the sequels as 3 isolated movies, since the best way to enjoy them is not to view them as a continuation. I love Star Wars as much as the next person, and I believe that us fans deserve amazing storylines that respect the foundation of what the franchise is all about. As such, we're entitled to critique movies when we disagree with the treatment of beloved characters and arcs. So with that in mind, let's begin. I've seen a lot of talk on the internet lately about how the sequel trilogy could exist on an alternate timeline to the outcome of The Mandalorian. That is, a timeline where Ahsoka died. The theory goes that the events of the sequels occurred in an alternate reality where Ahsoka passed away in Rebels and Ezra never rescued her. But the Mandalorian timeline exists in a reality where Ezra Bridger went to the world between worlds and saved Ahsoka from being killed by Darth Vader. With Ahsoka being alive in Mando, she tells Din Djarin about the Seeing Stone, as we saw in Chapter 13, and the events play out as they did in The Rescue, and Luke becomes Grogu's master. Without that knowledge, Din and Grogu would likely have never met Luke Skywalker, and Luke would never have trained Grogu. The events in the alternate reality where Ahsoka dies and Grogu never met Luke means that eventually Ben Solo becomes his first apprentice, and things go downhill from there, as we saw in the sequels. In the Mandalorian timeline, on the other hand, training Grogu before Ben will show Luke that using the dark side of the Force is natural and can even be controlled. Luke in turn doesn't fear Ben Solo's power and prevents him from becoming Kylo Ren. I wanted to address this theory first, and state that it's very credible, and to be honest with you, it wouldn't be the most far-fetched thing in the world for Lucasfilm to do, since Dave Filoni even admitted last year that he aims to build upon the deep Star Wars universe as we know it in the upcoming shows. To contrast, while the idea of The Mandalorian and sequels being one long continuation is also on the table, this won't be as exciting for Favreau, Filoni and the other writers of the show, because ultimately we all know how it turns out. I think there is room for an alternate reality to the sequels, where Luke remains our hero, doesn't become a recluse on Ahch-To, and we get the ending for him that we've always wanted. The sequels would then act as a kind of warning for a potential dark future, if Luke gave up hope and gave into the fear that Ben Solo would become Kylo Ren. So how does this play into The Mandalorian and how it retconned the sequels with one line? Because I believe that this theory was shown to be the path that the show is going down right at the end of Chapter 16. Luke says one line to Din that proves a retconning of the trilogy. He says, "Talent without training is nothing." So how does it impact the sequels? Because of the protagonist of the last 3 movies, Rey. She first came onto the scene as a simple scavenger in The Force Awakens. By the time of The Last Jedi, she had somehow mastered her powers, and yes, while it was later proven that she was indeed a Palpatine, hereditary line alone should never be enough to be as powerful and skilled as she seemed to be. I know a lot of people call her a Mary Sue because of this. She never faced any hard trials and tribulations, even remotely close to what young Luke did in Empire and in Jedi. She didn't have to overcome anything beyond wanting to know who her parents are. Someone should have told her, "Hey lady, this is Star Wars, don't worry, you'll be related to someone important since this galaxy seems really effing small." But on a serious note, it was a shame that her story arc was so limited, and she was somehow able to use natural talent to overcome anything that came her way with minimal to no training whatsoever. The line at the end of Chapter 16, the Mandalorian Season 2 finale, changed everything. It was a nod from Lucasfilm to us fans, as if to say, we get it. we get it. And what exactly is it that they get? That we the fans did not appreciate the treatment of Jedi training in the sequel trilogy, and that finally, this amazing live-action Star Wars show is giving us a sequel trilogy in the form of The Mandalorian and the upcoming spin-off shows that will certainly do right by our hero Luke Skywalker and everything Star Wars has always been about. If Luke does end up training Grogu, we can rest assured that he will have a far better story arc than our girl Rey did. And when trouble comes his way, he'll have to train harder to earn his colours as a Jedi Knight and hopefully even a Jedi Master. Like I said at the beginning of the video, guys, I'm not here to crap all over the sequel trilogy, not in the slightest. I'm just pointing out that Lucasfilm seemed to have listened to the fans, or at least the branch that is dealing with The Mandalorian and the upcoming spin-offs. The Luke that appeared at the end of chapter 16 is our Luke Skywalker, the hope for the galaxy, our hero. And to that end, I take my hat off to Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and all of the amazing crew who worked on the show that has brought Star Wars back to life again. So that is all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and also please consider heading over to my Patreon page. For just $2 or $10 a month, you get exclusive access to content that is not found here on YouTube, and that includes me going through the High Republic book, Star Wars Explained video, and also my podcast, which is called Megasodes. I will see you tomorrow. I'm Star Wars Meg. Have a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. I've recently picked up Star Wars Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina, which is a series of short stories to do with Tatooine, Jabba's palace, and of course the cantina on Mos Eisley. And as you can see while I'm reading to you guys, I'm going to be playing Return of the Jedi Lego Star Wars. So this is going to be quite a chilled one. I really hope you enjoy it. So the story I've chosen for today's megasode is A Hunter's Fate, Greedo's Tale. Obviously Greedo is a beloved character for all OG Star Wars fans, and he even appeared as a child in The Phantom Menace. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Greedo's Tale, The Refuge. Una guta, Greedo? The question, spoken fearfully, was answered by mocking cries of luminous bow-toads hidden in the mountain cave in the dripping green jungle. Puiduk scratched the insect bite off his tapir-like snout.